with my buddy Sean Donnelly. We talk about the craziest suburban news stories. But first, we were talking about our depression issues. Start off hot, baby.
And Michael Shockey's penis.
And Michael Shockey's penis. Shout out Michael Shockey's penis. You can find it online. He's a friend of the show.
Comedian turned
He's our
porn
first
star.
friend of the show. And not Michael, his penis.
Yeah, just
His
the
penis is his first. But yeah, Michael Shockey was a comedian who ended up doing porn. I don't know what he's doing now.
But right before we started, you told me,
yes.
you go, I told you I was mild depressive.
So first, which is hilarious. We were talking about depression, and Sean got diagnosed as a mild depressive. It's like the most underwhelming diagnosis I've ever heard. That's like decaf, like chamomile tea or something. But I have been diagnosed as bipolar since I was 22, and I don't think I'm crazy, which a lot of people in my life would disagree with me. So when I was in rehab in November, I was like, you know what? I got to get off everything. I'm going to get off. What I'm trying to say, guys, the worst way to find out you're bipolar is to stop taking your bipolar medication. The absolute. And so I stopped taking it. I started repeating words, and I was like pacing on the floor.
Let me ask you this. Are you self-aware of the change as it's happening, or does it just sneak up on you?
Yeah, because I start repeating a word.
And what you mean involuntarily, where you're just doing it and you're like, oh, I don't do that.
I gotta go. Oh,
wow.
Really bad, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, I started doing that. In rehab, there was a guy who had just done his third open mic and was part of the governor's new comedian.
Wow, of course.
Which, by the way, I'm negotiating with them about a contract. Maybe the status negotiations of all time. But he was open mic, and he starts like as I'm freaking out on the ground, he starts pitching me his bits, like his one-liners as he's doing it. And then he leaves the room, and he goes to somebody. He goes, for a professional comedian, dance not that funny. So I'm like, going back and forth.
Buddy, do you know where you are? That's how heartless comedians, wannabe comedians can be. That's when you get to that point.
Oh, we're like, we make Somali pirates look like UNICEF workers. I mean, unbelievable. Are you on any meds? You're on Wellbutrin? What are you on?
Nothing.
Okay.
I should be on something for my ADD. So I have legit ADD. Adderall. I should be like on like a somewhat a dose of Adderall, and I've taken like Megan, my girlfriend takes Adderall, and she's on like a high dose of it.
Really?
Yeah, and
how's her heart? I feel like that's like baby cocaine.
I think it just like kind of evens around. It's crazy how it works.
Yeah.
But I did it once, and that was like too much. So I would need like something, because I was like,
Megan is Sean's significant other.
My significant other, my love, my lady,
my betrothed.
And
that's married.
I full on. I'm like OG ADD, where it's like Ritalin, which is like,
dude. Have you ever taken Ritalin?
I was on it for years.
It sucks. I took it on for 3 days. I felt my heartbeat.
It turns you into it also, when you have this, it turns you into a zombie. Like a full on. I remember being like almost like trapped. Like you're in like, remember Get Out when he goes in the hole?
Yeah.
And like he sees when things. That's how you feel on Ritalin when you're a kid and you have ADD, and it completely makes you into a zombie all day. And then when you get out of it, you're like, why am I exhausted? Why am I mentally exhausted? And then it's pretty bad. So I would have to get on some version. They have so many versions of it now, but I was like, the only thing they had back then was Ritalin. And then when I got older, they had Dexedrine. And I just, for some reason, I don't know, maybe my family wasn't too, they weren't concerned, but they were like, yeah, you just need it for grammar school. These problems don't follow you in life.
I feel like, but you're one of three. And yeah. I feel like by the third, it's hard for the parents to give a shit the same way because they're just so exhausted from the first two.
But I'm number 2.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right.
So, it's...
All right, Mrs. Donnelly, step it up.
No. She did care, but it was like when I was done. His
mom is like the sweetest.
When I was done with high school, they were like, I was like, oh, I don't want to take it anymore. And they were like, yeah, you don't have to. And I'm like, well, that's just not correct. Because then I just went and didn't graduate college and stuff like that.
Wait, I just found out you didn't graduate high school?
No,
college.
You did?
Yeah. I'm going to stop doing this podcast. So I have you have to be this less retarded to work with me.
I went the Shocky route and did some porno.
All right, we got to get to the show, guys.
Let's do it.
Our first crazy suburban news story. Pennsylvania clown charged with prostitution after undercover sting. Francis Bouie of Scranton, Pennsylvania, which I've done a gig there. Have you ever done a gig there?
I sure have.
Yeah, it's...
I went to an Italian fest there. While the weekend I was doing
they have a really good Italian restaurant there.
It's also, it's where The Office is based on.
Mm-hmm. Also... Well, actually, I can't.
You can't say it?
I was just about to violate something I talked about before I went on the podcast. But this story is hilarious.
Well, I can read it. On an online website, officers said they found a man later identified as Francis Bouie.
Is it French?
Bouie? 28 of Scranton, advertising himself under the escort section of the site. Police stated they contacted, to set up an appointment, and Bouie agreed to perform sexual acts for $100 an hour at a hotel in the city.
$100.
$100. I think if you're a really good party clown, can't you do better at a kid?
Do you think you ever think if he gets muscle memory and he just starts tying the penis into a little dog?
What's your clown name when you're a clown gigolo? It's floppy.
I just had this vision of some pimp going, "Get out of bitch, get out of here!" And they all get out of the tiny car. And there's 9 of them with little
just clown hookers.
Clown hookers. But $100, dude. That's because my gay friends, to buy a gay escort, it's so cheap. You can buy it for a couple $100, and it's the guy looks like Henry Cavill. It's beautiful. So if you're a normal looking guy, and I'm wondering do you think, Pat, maybe I can get your input on this. Do you think there's an upcharge if he dresses as a clown? He's got to charge more if he dresses as the clown, right?
He's got to bank
at least $25 more, I think.
Yeah, you could get one.
Pat.
Well, especially if it's a kink,
Yeah.
If someone has a clown kink, they should be paying more.
Yeah.
But they don't really talk about it in the article like it was a kink. I think what this guy thought, he's like, I'm a master criminal. I'll dress up as a clown.
I don't know if he thought he was a master criminal. I think this.
You don't think he thought if I show up and get caught for sex acts, I'm there as a clown?
No, but the thing is, he was a clown before this.
Oh.
So I guess the clowning wasn't going well.
Imagine he doesn't mention the clown stuff, and then he shows up and he goes, sorry, I'm just getting back from my last job.
Or he gets done with a kid's birthday party, gets done, okay, and he's like, all right, any adults here, I'll suck your dick. That's the first part of my show. The second part is for the adults in the room.
This is Bouie After Dark.
Bouie, if feel free, Bouie, if you ever want to give your take on this, please contact me or Sean on Instagram. We are more willing to have you on the show.
And on Instagram, you are at
Dan St. Germain.
Dan St. Germain.
Yeah. Please, we got to get our numbers up.
And I am at Shawnee Time, SEANY.
Yeah, we're always posting fun videos.
If any clown prostitutes would like to contact the show,
sure,
so you can defend yourselves on why this is a thriving business.
Yeah,
feel free to give us a shout.
What's the weirdest porn that you're attracted to? Not the weirdest porn you've seen. We've all seen weird porn because we're in comedy. But what's the weirdest one that you're still kind of weirdly attracted to?
See, it's changed. It would have been trans porn. I liked some trans porn.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
That's true. But now that you can't, it's not. That's not weird at all because which it makes sense. But I think the reason I liked it is because it was a little bit offbeat or whatever it was, so I'm not as into it. But
I jerked off to when I was 14 to Simpsons porn, like Marge Simpson, fucking Homer.
I remember all those photos. I just never. I mean, the drawings.
Yeah,
when you were a kid,
I rubbed one.
I never once was like, oh my god, I have to jerk off to this.
Yeah, I mean, I was at that point. It was when you're 13, a gust of wind and you got a fucking raging hard on. So
this one's not weird. I will say this. And it's not that weird like the cartoonish type stuff or anything like that or furries or anything, but I have done it to stuck porn. You ever know
what's stuck? Oh,
they get stuck in the washing machine.
Yeah, I don't even think that's weird. It is a little sexual salty.
It is. That's why it's weird.
I'm
not that
weird,
guy.
But that's not even. But that's like a fucking huge cue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, Sean is not that guy. Sean does not go into public laundromats and start fucking women who
dressed as a clown
or using his dryer. But hopefully, this guy. I mean, look, man. He's the Amazing Franco. That's his clown name. Guys.
Oh, that's his clown name.
Is the Amazing Franco.
The Amazing Franco.
Which I think that seems more of like an Evil Knievel type name, but you know.
What about Buizo? Shouldn't it be like Buizo? Because he's
I don't know. Is that French?
It sounds French.
Sounds French.
It sounds French.
$100 an hour, hotel in the city. It's also $100 an hour in Scranton is like $1,000.
Right.
You're a high class French escort in Scranton for $100 an hour. Vietnam. Oh, there we go. Okay,
Vietnamese.
so we're racist for 15 minutes.
Vietnam.
Yeah, but we didn't get the little fucking accent on the U, so we're not racist. I don't know.
He doesn't use it.
But Chinese, they were fucking. I mean, Vietnamese, they were taking over the French at some point, right? You know, so maybe we're in that world.
We're in that vicinity.
All right, let's move on to our second story, folks. I love this story. Woman arrested for calling cops to get out of a date with man she met online. This story. So this is in North Liberty, Iowa. Somaya Thomas, she was about to go on a date with this guy, got cold feet.
And it's worth mentioning she's 18 years old.
18 years old. The guy shows up, this poor motherfucker. She tells the cops that they've had an abusive relationship for years and that she can't get him out of her life. And then, like,
she has cold feet about the date and just decides to call the cops and be like, this guy was abusive to me. We dated for 2
hit,
years.
punch, kick, and stab her.
Well,
this is the argument against the Me Too movement, guys. The story.
What I'm wondering is, was it a type of thing where she had a ring bell or ring camera and she saw him outside and she was like, I'm not going on this. And then so she didn't answer the door and the cops just showed up to be like, what are you doing here, sir? What's going on? And he was like, what? I'm here for a first date. And they're like, that's not what we hear. And then they get into like
it's got to be the saddest victory too, because then when he realizes, oh, the cops believe me, I'm this unfuckable, you know, because like she never met this guy. Like they were just like, you know, literally flirting online. And then I've seen this woman.
Not a looker. Yeah.
No, I think she was actually an offensive lineman for the San Diego Chargers for a little bit. Yeah, this is.
Would you rather be? Let me ask you this: would you rather be thought as like an abusive ex, or just a loser? Like one of those kind of things.
Loser, right?
Yeah. Especially with the cops.
I mean, it depends on what kind of like. Sometimes when people are like, he's gaslighting, like that doesn't mean anything. But like a guy who like generally like beat the shits out of girls.
They didn't mean unhinged. They meant unhinged.
Oh.
Hey, come on!
Check out Sean the Looney Bin in Staten Island. Yeah, she's you know.
It's also I'm wondering if
she's rough looking.
She's rough looking, but it also you can see she had cold feet. I feel bad, but also I think it's a generational thing.
Why would you feel bad for this woman?
Because obviously,
saying I don't want to go out.
Right, but I don't think she's 18. That's like nowadays you act like way younger than we would have acted at 18. And it's a girl, but I mean like on top of that, it's like
Liberty, Iowa.
And it's North Liberty, Iowa, which means the guy drove 4 hours to get there.
Well, apparently, like I'm the last generation, or maybe the generation right before me, it was the last one that actually would have sex. Like the younger generations now don't.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I think porn. That's why I think it's like a third of guys under 30 now are on some sort of erectile dysfunction thing because of porn.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Or it's something
because they watch so much porn they can't get hard for regular sex?
Yeah. So they have to do that because they're used to these like perfect pussies, you know, which is a gross thing. You know
how much just based off my age now, do you know how much porn it would take to have me not be excited about regular sex? That means you're watching an insane amount of porno.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking all day, every day type porno.
I know guys like that. I know guys that couldn't leave the house because they were like jerking off 10 times a day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a thing.
It's a second job.
Yeah, I think it's much more common than you think.
Well, she made a stupid move, but it's also like a teenage move it's very manipulative. Not manipulative. What would you call
manipulative.
it? Manipulative. And it's shady to do, and you should be able to. There's a whole. That's what I mean about like she's not even Gen Z. She's like the next one. She's like There's a new one.
Don't get me wrong. She looks like a 45-year-old bus driver, but
She
is apparently 18.
She looked like she should have been arrested. Like she looks like she's the one who got arrested in this photo.
Oh, she is.
Oh, right, she did. What am I talking about? Yeah. I mean, like they went after him first, and they let him go after an hour.
Yeah.
The
Pat zoomed it in to get us extra terrified.
to get her Old Navy glasses. But one of those things where it's like, if you're the guy, are you back on the apps at some point? Guys are such pussy hounds. You just went back home and went right back on the apps.
If you're in your 20s, yeah.
Yeah. You're just
now, if he's older, maybe not, but.
Woman got arrested. What else does it say about him?
It doesn't say the dating app.
And it's also, she deleted her she's a shithead. She deleted her text history.
Yeah, she sucks. Dude.
What did she think, that he wouldn't have the texts in his phone to be like, here?
I don't think this woman.
She also told the cops that she was pregnant.
Oh, that's right.
And they're kind of they're like, I don't know.
With his kid.
It's like just to throw the cherry on top, just to make him that much more of a made up jerk off. Let's see. The North Liberty, Iowa woman told officers the man was an abusive ex who is threatening to cause her physical harm. Wow.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I'm so glad I'm not fucking single. That's what the story means to me. Thank you, Brooke Cato from the New York Post.
You full on just don't. I don't think you trust that. You don't trust for a while, because that would freak me out. Because he must have been like 18, 20 years old.
The craziest thing that happened to me on a dating app is this was when I was on Okie Cupid, so it was like over 10 years ago. Like, God, I don't know how long. But I was talking to this girl, and she was doing this to every guy she talked to. She took our photo, and then she put my photo as a profile picture, but then wrote swastikas on it, mustaches and dicks and and she did that to like 5 guys. So,
did I told you?
Maniac.
I never told this on the podcast. I don't think, or a podcast. We just started doing this, but I ever tell you when I went out with this girl. It was one of those dates where they don't ask you anything about you.
Yes.
And I was running out of things.
Yeah, that's the one.
I told you about this, right?
Yeah.
I'll say it for the thing, but
yeah.
So I went out with this girl, and she had some boring job. She was boring. She would not ask me any questions. I just kept talking and talking. And at one point, she lets me in on the fact that she has a meme account for 90 Day Fiance. Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
And I go, all right.
Maybe, but
I go, all right, cool. And so the date sucks. We go home. About 2 or 3 weeks later, Tracy Carnazzo, who's a comic.
I love Tracy.
Tracy's great. I see her, and she goes, hey, can you come do my 90 Day Fiance podcast? And I said, I don't watch the show. And you know what 90 Day Fiance is.
Yeah, I've watched
the 2 random
episodes.
people. Yeah.
Very weird.
It's a very weird show. People are obsessed with it. There's 14 different spin-offs, whatever it is.
It's where the little midget guy without the neck.
Yeah, and it's a heavy-set white woman marrying the dude from like Africa. You know, it's that. You know, and
Big Ed and Laura.
Is that's who it is?
Yeah, I'm a huge.
Oh, Big Ed, the neck guy. Yeah,
you're a big 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, I'm a huge. That was the before the 90 Days series.
Yes, that guy Big Ed was like he was famous because his girlfriend was from like, where was she from? Like
I forget.
Like Vietnam or something.
It was very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable
with each other.
So you'll get a kick out of this. So full on, this girl sucked on the date. And then she goes, I have this meme account for 90 Day Fiance. She goes, I help out the cast. I do that. And she's like talking about, that's the only thing she would talk about, right?
Right.
So afterwards, Tracy's like, can you do my podcast? And I go, I don't watch the show, but I have this weird story. I went out with this girl. The date was awful. But she had a meme account for 90 Day Fiance on Instagram. And Tracy goes, yeah, you have to watch out for those people. There's this one girl on Instagram. She has 3 of the cast members had restraining orders put out against her. And it was the girl I
Oh my God! I didn't know this story. Oh my God!
Can you believe it? Yeah.
That's hilarious. But it's also what a burn on you that like she's like bored during your date and she's a maniac with every other fucking 90 Day Fiance cast members. Now, was it all dudes or was it kind of like all around?
I think it was all dudes.
Wow.
I think it was all dudes from what it seemed like. And she full on said the Instagram name, which I actually forget. The minute she said it, I was like, oh my God, that's her. That's the girl. That's the girl.
That's so crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
You know, it's my wife's had a stalker. I've never had a stalker. I think the closest I had one guy who liked my comedy and was really going through, I could tell was going through something emotionally, but I also really needed a ride to the airport. So I was like, hey buddy, can you pick me up? And he couldn't. And then like and then he stopped. And then
That's
all
how
of a sudden,
special a ride to the airport
Yeah.
is. How hard it is to get.
even the guy was like obsessed with me.
$80
And then
Uber.
like a week later, he turned and he's like, me and my cop friends are gonna beat the fuck out of you.
Shut up.
Yeah.
What, and he
totally.
lived in New York?
I don't lived in I think Connecticut, but I mean, like God, Paul Hooper had this really funny comic, underrated comic,
Super funny comic.
really great guy too. But he used to date a lot of crazy girls, and his solution was, I was like, well, how do you get out of that? And he goes, you just like become unspeakably boring. So like he's like instead of like avoiding her calls, I would talk to her for an hour and a half about like furnishings, and then they would like lose interest.
No way.
Brilliant.
Like where you don't engage in the crazy. Like where you're not like
you have the most
want the
mundane,
pushback.
like energy vampire conversations with the person, because no matter how crazy they are, they don't want that.
Do you have to change your cadence and stuff? I feel like
Paul's super funny, but
he's very quiet.
But Paul can put that on and like speak in the same octave for like 20 minutes straight. We should have him on at some point. Paul's a great guy.
He is a great guy. We had a fan of one of the old podcast that like had stayed a fan. He's probably a fan of yours as well, right? This guy who's from Pacific Northwest, and I just did my first show there, and he wrote to me. He's like, I'm excited. I'm coming to the show. His name's Mo. Do you know this guy Mo?
Maybe.
You would know this guy Mo. I won't say his last name.
Okay.
But he's like a bear. He's definitely, I can just tell by his posts.
Oh, I know who this is.
You know this guy? Okay. So that's our fan base. There's a lot of bears.
That's
right?
not his name, but yeah,
That's not his name,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. So
So you met him finally?
no, not who you're thinking of. Somebody else.
Okay.
Pacific Northwest. This guy lives in, right? So I finally do a show there, and he's like, "I'm coming. I'm excited." And he's totally normal dude, but he's definitely a bear. You can just tell.
Yeah.
So I'm on stage, and he's front and center. He's right there in the front row. So just during the set, I just start talking to him, and I know exactly what it is. So I'm kind of bouncing jokes off. It's like a very loose set, and I'm just like messing with it. I go, well, I have a bear joke, a gay joke that I do about myself, and I go, well, Mo, I'm like, you're a gay dude, right? And he was like, well, I don't really usually say that. And I'm like, oh my God, I just outed this guy. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's true, but I just don't usually say it in public in the front row of a comedy show.
That's so funny.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
guy-
But in all fairness, you're wearing a kilt right now.
But to be fair, you're actively masturbating in front of me. So this guy that is a fan of both me and Sean, this other bear that totally wants to fuck him, he isolated Sean saying "come" in an episode and sent it to me. It was like the weirdest thing. I was like, what is this? What am I going to do with this? He didn't even send it to Sean. He sent it to me.
I don't know if
you remember that?
I don't remember.
No, he isolated you saying "come" or like I like "come," like it was like a joke. And but look, fucking, just no harm, don't hate the player here. If I was a fat bear, I would have the greatest life ever.
That's what I said.
Yeah, if I'm pouring maple syrup on myself and having a guy who looks like Santa. Are you fucking kidding me?
We are
never have to fucking deal with passive aggression again. Just every once in a while, like we just start wrestling if we piss at each other.
We are the Cloonies of the bear community. Oh my God, I would kill it. I wish I was. Oh, absolutely.
And it looks. I mean, they all look because they're like proud of their tummies. Have you seen that? Like all of them, they're just like they're like in the pictures, they're holding their tummies like a pregnant woman holds her baby.
It's like the Demi Moore thing from what was that, Rolling Stone or whatever it was, where it's like somebody's grabbing her belly from behind.
Dude, I was remember Demi Moore in Disclosure? That was the hottest Demi Moore, I thought.
She's super hot in that.
In Disclosure,
was Striptease.
She was hot, but Disclosure, the dumbest fucking movie ever. But
yeah,
she's really hot. All right, let's move on to our next story. Athletic director used AI to frame principal with racist remarks in fake audio clip. Police say this is just the nightmare of the future, guys.
This is going to happen literally during the article. We can read the article if you can bring it up, Pat. But I can read this one. So just the basics, and then I have. This is just going to happen over and over again.
Yeah.
A high school athletic director in Maryland has been accused of using artificial intelligence to impersonate a principal on an audio recording that included racist and anti-Semitic comments, authorities said Thursday. Authorities said the case appears to be among the first of its kind in the country and called for new laws to guard against the technology. This is the problem. Like the
Get
fact
behind this right now, by the way.
Yeah. Experts also warned that the artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly powerful, while the ability to detect it may lag behind without more resources. So audio-wise, you already, because the only way you know it's AI, because they'll do things with like, it'll be Biden talking and calling himself Sleepy Joe, and you're like, oh, I know that's fake because of what he's saying. That's the only reason why you know it. Or, like maybe video still has the uncanny valley thing where it screws up and it looks all not put together. But audio, you can make it sound like anybody's.
But we're literally 2 years away from it. Being seamless. Like,
so
there's this new documentary, Dirty Pop. We started watching it last night. It's on Netflix. It's about Lou Pearlman. It's really fun. It's really fun. Like he's a total crook.
He's like a Weinstein type, right?
No, he's not. Nobody can really. I think one guy accused him of grooming, but no, that's not what.
Oh wow.
He's you got to see this first. I'll talk about this documentary. The how he got his money from NSYNC and Backstreet Boys is originally he sold blimps, and 4 of the blimps went down at the same time, and he got millions of dollars in insurance. So he basically miswired these fucking blimps to pay for the Backstreet Boys.
Are you kidding me?
And NSYNC to pay. Yeah, but the reason I bring this up is he narrates the documentary, and what they do is they take
Lou Pearlman does.
Well, they take his face,
okay.
and they take his audio book, and they move the mouth a little bit. It looks kind of bad, but I'm like, at some point this is going to be completely seamless.
Well, the guy's name that did this was Dazan Darian, faked the voice of Pikesville High School's principal in response to conversations the men had about Darian's poor work performance and whether his contract would be renewed.
What did he say that racist? Like, what was the racist thing to be?
I don't think they're going to put it in here. They don't put it in the actual article. They're not going to say. It sounded the principal was frustrated with black students.
Test taking abilities.
All right.
Which again,
is pretty genius if you're going to fake it, because that sounds
that's something a principal would say.
Exactly. So they said the recording also purported to capture the principal disparaging Jewish individuals.
Well, now he's just reaching. Now he's like, and also these fucking Jews.
But you know this about. Here we go. The audio clip quickly spread on social media and had profound repercussions. The court documents stated, with the principal being placed on leave. The recording put the principal and his family at significant risk. Wow. While police officers provided security at his house, according to authorities.
Yeah, this guy's got to do.
This guy's got to
do what do you think? Like 5 years for that?
You would hope. They should
not more than 5 years.
They should make it as much as they can so that people go, I can't. It should be the type of thing that scares people away from doing it in the future, because this is going to be so much easier and easier as time goes on.
Well, folks at home, why don't you do some AI of me and Sean being racist? Just start generating those around.
We'll just say words and you put them together.
Yeah, Mad Libs them.
But dude, this is gonna, because you know that thing about AI where they talk about how even the people who are in charge of policing it are we don't exactly know how it does what it does. Even the people who code it and work on it and are in charge of it and are the forefront of the industry, they're we know X, Y, and Z, but we don't know A, B, and C. We don't know Q or S.
Yeah.
They're we don't know the innards of this thing of why it does what it does. So that'll make it really hard to put a cap on what it can do in the future. That's why they're oh, we're screwed. It's it is gonna end up being it's Terminator 2 at some point.
If we don't die,
which has become such a hacky thing to say, but people have become desensitized to the T2 thing. But they're oh no, that's totally for real.
Yeah.
It'll at least do stuff like this that can cause a huge.
Yeah, they're gonna do little pranks.
How much domestic terrorism you can have where you can just fake somebody's thing, or you know what I'm saying? It can lead to violence. You know what I'm saying? It can.
Well, do you remember after and conversely, the other thing that's scary about it is that people believe things that are real are not are AI. Like, you remember the Damar Hamlin thing after the Buffalo Bills, and people said that he actually did die on the field, and that the interview was not him, it was AI. And
I didn't.
CGI.
No, I never heard.
It was a bunch of like COVID deniers. So their whole thing is, oh, he's not real and he's created by artificial intelligence.
You know what they're starting to do in school now? My nephew's going to have it in his new school. Internet literacy. They're going to give you a course. It's starting in like 6th grade. He's going to be in 6th grade. He's going to have a course that shows you this is how to pick out good information from the internet, and this is fake. This is not real. Like, this is how you can see what's real and what's not, which is great as long as it's across the country and it's a lot of.
Well, it won't be. I guarantee you it won't be. All right, what do we got next, Pat? Oh my God, this story. First off,
this reminds me of
we got to talk about this guy's
joke.
name.
This reminds me of your
my cat,
Subway joke.
Yeah. All right, so this Ohio man caught with hamsters inside a leopard print onesie. Police arrested a man with hamsters inside the leopard print onesie he was wearing in Hilliard, Ohio. Matthew Pancake was. Pancake's a real last name? We're burying the lead here.
We got Bowie and
Have
Pancake.
you ever heard Pancake as a last name before? Is that a real last name?
It's got to be.
Is that a real? Are there any other Pancakes on the internet? Or is this like his drag queen name?
He obviously changed it.
No, it could be Pancake. I know a guy with the last name Hamburger.
Real? Well, Neil Hamburger.
That's not Neil Hamburger's real name.
Well, that's German. So
right, but the guy's name is really.
But Pancake is a real name? Last name?
Now I'm starving. That's the Ron Fez thing. Now I'm starving. I think that it's based on what he did. You don't think that it's like, I have my YouTube channel and I legally changed my name to Matthew Pancake.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I want to know, if Matthew Pancake's his Christian name.
Wouldn't it be great if he
The
quit?
Pancake family crest.
He gets out of jail for this, and then he just turns things around, becomes a lawyer, and he's Matthew Pancake Esquire.
But still has the onesie.
Yeah, he just argues all his cases in the leopard
The leopard onesie.
He's the leopard lawyer. He brings
this guy
table
knows
cakes.
what the hell am I under arrest for?
I guess that's sexual. If you're in a onesie and you're I don't think he was naked, but if you're in a onesie and naked, and if you have a onesie and you zip it up with a bunch of gerbils, I guess that's the turn on. Oh my God, they're taking out the gerbils.
Oh my God. He's just a really big Richard Gere fan.
I love Primal Fear.
The thing is, what if,
I love how the cop goes into his walkie-talkie. He goes, multiple gerbils recovered.
wouldn't it be great if he had a number for it? He's like, we got a 1032. Over 14 gerbils recovered.
I mean, think about how hard Columbus isn't like necessarily the safest city in the world. So think about how hard the job of a cop is. This is like kind of a fun thing to get. I think
This is talking
you
about.
Don't arrest this guy. Oh, you do for breaking he broke through the pet store.
This is a story for years with your friends. You're like,
oh yeah.
Because normally it's probably, that's the whole thing about being a cop. They say it's 95% of the time it's super boring.
Right.
It's probably just drunks and it's bullshit and whatever.
Right.
Imagine getting this guy, and then after all that, they're like, all right, name, and he's like Matthew Pancake. Imagine having that. People are gonna be like, you made this story up. Every piece of this story sounds like it's made up.
They broke through. He broke through the window of numerous stores. Oh, okay. I thought it was numerous pet stores, like he had an MO, but I guess he was just going through that neighborhood and doing a bunch of breaking and entering. He also had. They found shards of glass in his onesie. Well, that's just him
from the window,
and a dog collar on him. Which I'm sure he went to the pet store. And he probably put the dog collar on, unless it's his dog collar from home.
And what is this? Is this like a mental break, or you think this is drugs? At one point during the video, did he?
Both. Yeah, both. I would say both.
Did he ask? He asked during the arrest.
What he was going to do with the gerbils?
What?
What do you think he was going to do with the gerbils?
He already did it. He put it in the
I think
suit.
he come. With a U? I mean, come on. What else do you like? It's weirder for it not to be a sex thing. If you're like, no, I just enjoy having I'm not horny from this. I would judge that more than if it was like, yeah, the hamsters make me.
Yeah, at least that makes sense.
Yeah.
At least there's an end. You know what I'm saying?
What a rough day for a hamster too.
It's also a thing where I feel like anytime if you're an adult in a onesie, has there ever been a day that ended positively for an adult?
No. To Sean's point, and I've talked about this on other podcasts, but I used to do a bit You know, this was like I did my first late night appearance. I did when it was late night with Jimmy Fallon. It was a bit about a guy in the subway dressed as a cat meowing and shit like that.
Well, you said New York makes you so crazy that I was this guy behind me was meowing, and I was like, oh great.
Here comes a guy pretending to be a cat. And it was a cat. Yeah. So, but anyway, I did that bit, and I did it at the Blue Plum Festival in Tennessee, and I thought I was like hot shit because I had just done late night, and I was quickly reminded I wasn't hot shit.
And you weren't in New York.
When I told that bit, and a guy dressed in a cat onesie jumped on me, started grinding against me, and I could feel his penis. So.
And he had, how many gerbils did he have on him?
I don't know. I couldn't feel the gerbils. I wish I felt the gerbils.
There's kittens. It's also like, it might have been a thing where you could only get a leopard onesie, and it was like a mommy gerbil thing where he thought the gerbils were like, it was like a litter of gerbils.
Fucking weirdos on, especially in the East Village. It's like these people in their 20s, like they're into anime. They wear a lot of the animal print, like onesies and stuff like that.
There's also a thing with... it's like girls will dress like they're in those cartoons where they're like probably in their mid-20s, like you said, and it'll look like they're in like Ready Player One, like their own avatar or something.
Yeah.
And it's like some of the times I'm like, that's really hot. I'm like, that seems really hot. But then you realize you're like, oh, what you're trying to go for is that's kind of creepy, but you just don't realize it. You know what I mean?
Well, a more wholesome story, guys. Can you scroll up? Couple arrested after X-rated margarita stunt in restaurant goes viral.
Dude.
This guy put a butt funnel in his wife's ass and drank margarita out of it. I think this is kind of fun, but you probably shouldn't do this in public. Did you see the video of the girl sucking the guy's dick at Denny's?
No.
That was another one of these. That one's a little more disturbing for some reason for me, but...
This makes me become an old person where I'm like,
you don't like this.
There's no respect anymore.
You don't like the oral. You're not a big oral guy.
I don't. It's not the act. It's the idea that you're in the middle of a Mexican. You're like, what if it was anal sex? Would you be into that? Like it's not the act of the sex. He's literally doing a butt funnel. It's like if
wearing a camo hat. Obviously,
you can't get mad at you can't get mad at somebody saying good old days if this guy does this in public and is like, what? What's the big deal? You think he was like at the end of his he was at a place called Rodeo Mexican restaurant. If he was just like, oh sorry,
or like rodeo ho.
I thought I was I thought it was a Chili's. They allow you.
He's very proud of himself.
They give you a 2 for a Chili's.
What do they get charged with, Pat?
Probably indecent, right? Let's see what happens.
I mean, is that a sex crime? It could be a sex crime.
No, if it's voluntary, it's just
it could be like sometimes like if you have like a couple will have like public sex and then they'll end up on the sex offender registry.
Also, New York Post, like we do our own bad jokes. They just said they became the butt of their own joke.
Well, this is the day we try to keep this evergreen, but when Biden dropped out, they wrote it's Jover. And I'm like, that's. I guess you guys are out of by Biden or something. Like, there's his name has "by" in it.
It doesn't say, but I'm assuming like indecent exposure or something.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
Well, it's even trashier is that it's on Snapchat.
Yeah. Also, how were they able to do that? How can you put that on Snapchat? Because they're not actually showing anything?
We have Crystalia on line 1. He's our sex crime Snapchat expert correspondent. All right, let's move on to the next story.
That's one of my favorite clips in the history.
4th baby surrendered to safe haven.
Hold on, the butt margarita guy is like, yeah, you can't save anything on Snapchat. I learned from Crystalia.
This is a suburb outside Indianapolis. 4th baby surrendered to safe haven baby box at Carmel Fire Station. This is a nice story, but guys, my question here is, before the fucking baby box, were they just like throwing it in front of the gate? Like, where were they putting the?
They were one hand
right in the driveway.
One handing it over the fence. Just chucking it.
Like how did it take so long for them to be like, maybe we should have a fucking place to put the baby?
You wonder if it's like, what do you do? Do you just pick it up from the box, or they grab? I feel like does the same person keep coming back for these babies,
and also
they go, this baby box is paying off.
Yeah. Also, what's gonna keep pedophiles from using this as Little Caesar's hot and ready? You know. Open it up. Ooh, it's fresh. $5. This is. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody.
That's what we were trying to build to, everybody. we had hamsters.
$5.
Little Caesars on it.
You gotta get me.
He goes, baby,
Some
baby.
baby pussy and crazy bread.
He goes, baby, baby.
Baby, baby. Baby, baby.
Baby, baby.
Baby, baby.
Oh, my God, that's funny. Safe Haven Crisis, 1-866-99-BABY-1. These, I would be... I want to see what they look like. Does it show what that looks like inside? Do they open up the box? Because it just looks like an incinerator.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
The girl's kind of...
Yeah, she is. She looks like
Kinda
Sarah Palin.
Palin-y.
Yeah. Oh, my
Ooh,
God.
that guy's mustache. A really good thing to do on a
standard
audio
issue.
medium, guys, is to talk what visually is going on.
He was a fireman with like a giant broom mustache.
It's a real there's it's like pussies of long yore are in that mustache.
Oh, there's the box. Oh, he just opened it.
Would be funny if it went down to a slide into a ball pit, or there's just like a tub of babies. One baby box at a time.
This goes into just a warehouse of babies.
Yeah, I wrote. Actually, I wrote a sketch, which is pretty similar to this for a Moral Compass, which was this Bill Burr sketch show that was on Roku. It was a great show, but we didn't get a second.
And Roku.
And
Nobody
it was on
watches
Roku. Nobody watches Roku.
You ever find out somebody watches original programming from one of those things, and you're like, oh, you really? Like you get
there are other channels, right?
They still have regular TV.
Tubi's doing like an original Peter Dinklage movie or something like that. Like they're putting money into theirs.
I think they're pouring they're trying to make themselves more legit, which might have been their model. They're like, hey, we're free for 2 years, and it's Tubi, and you can do whatever. And then now they're like, oh, let's actually put the capital into
Some
it.
of those Tubi movies are wild. If you see some of those.
No, they just got awful.
Oh my! Well, yeah. I mean, you can just. I mean, like my aunt can just put a movie on there.
Oh yeah, and also there's comedians that put comedy specials on Tubi.
Yeah.
So it's like a free for all, and that's how Amazon is. You can put your.
That's what I say. My next comedy special was on Boingo. You can only watch it in the Delta land.
It's just all based off the hotspot.
It's based off a hotspot.
The minute you get the hotspot, it downloads to your phone.
Oh man! All right. Well, I hope those babies find homes, and
So the whole idea is like, so the baby. If the baby's put in the box, do you know how it works? Where it's like, how long can it?
there it is.
There's the baby. How can it work?
That's an actual baby in the box. That's not a.
No, that's
not like a artist rendering or something.
just people dropping off Blockbuster videos from 20 years ago.
Yeah, I have this baby in Deep Impact. It's the lesser of the Comet movies of the summer of 1997.
Do I have any late fees?
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Let's do the next one. That's funny.
Nebraska region suggests putting Finn's ashes under the football field. Her idea was dead on arrival. All right, AP.
Yeah.
What do you think you are, New York Post?
Yeah.
I actually don't think this is that crazy, but I guess it's like it's more of a logistical thing where it's like, is there like just one big thing, like a sandbox of ashes? Are they individual compartments?
Why is there multiple?
I put my mom's ashes in, like I went to Key West and I dumped them in, but I think people just do this shit all the time.
Hold on, let's say, scroll back up. We'll see what the actual story is real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure.
A University of Nebraska regent has proposed a way of lifelong Cornhusker fans to carry their support into the afterlife. When Memorial Stadium undergoes its next renovation, Regent Barbara Whites, what's a regent? Like an official, I guess?
I guess.
Barbara Whites of Omaha suggested building a columbarium. Columbarium. I've never heard that word in my life.
Columbarium.
Under the football field, where departed fans can have their ashes inurned.
Inurned. Yeah,
I think
right.
they mean interned. Actually, sounds better. The idea might be dead on arrival.
Interned as if the body's there. Ashes are inurned.
Okay. The idea might be dead on arrival. King. Her fellow regents laughed at the proposal at a recent meeting. It's not that bad.
It's not that crazy.
But,
and afterwards, she's like, "All right, Paul, what's your idea? Another fucking bake sale?"
At least I'm thinking outside the box.
Yeah, at least I'm thinking outside
Every
the
time,
box.
it's always the same thing. Ads on the helmets. Ads on the helmets. How about fucking ashes? That's where the money is, Paul. Also, your wife's an asshole.
You ever see that town hall meeting where the guy...
The guy goes, good morning, you fat...
fat ugly. Use my face. Can we pull that up, Paul? Pat, sorry, I don't know why I called
Is
you
there
Paul.
easy to find?
Can you pull up that video of the guy going to the town hall meeting and calling all the women fat? It's on YouTube. It should be pretty easy to find.
He's also dressed like a...
This guy's great.
He's just like a longshoreman that got lost.
Or student board meeting or something.
Oh, it's so... Wait.
Yeah,
there-
Savage. Yeah, that's
right
it.
there, that's it.
Yeah. Put the volume up for this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have you seen this, Pat?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Wait, let's see.
Right. We can't
Can we hear it to the thing?
Gotta get the audio.
Oh, wait, here we go.
All right. I think there's a clip on YouTube. You could hear the audio probably easier. That
Oh, wait. It's so funny. First off, we're gonna
he's
show a picture.
exactly what you think he's going to look like.
This is just us in 4 years.
Yeah, no. Here, go back to the Google. I think there's a YouTube. Yeah, there's a YouTube clip that'll probably get the audio there. I don't know.
The basically what it is, he goes to like a.
Wait, no. We'll
Okay, I'm gonna show it. All right, yeah. Let
me see.
I just didn't want. Here we go.
Oh, I guess. Well,
Maybe it doesn't come through.
guys, we'll work that out for our next episode.
Yeah.
No audio on this, but he basically calls him a bunch of.
Stand by. I'll try to get it in the meantime.
Okay.
Okay, cool. No, but I think that if you those guys that do the, I know they did the radio show once. The guys that do I'm Chad Kroger and I'm the other guy, and they go to town hall meetings in California, but it's like a bit. Like they're like
Yeah,
a duo.
it's really fun.
They're
The guy
like
who
a Bill
talks
and
about
Ted.
getting like scammed by the prostitute.
Yeah,
it's really great.
So I think it's just a free for all when it comes to town. You can just do whatever you want at town
You
hall.
get old, your wife's dead. It's like, what am I going to do?
I have a
Go
friend
to
of mine-
town hall meeting, yell at people.
My friend
Kinda
Annie has a great idea. She's a comic. She lives in Brooklyn. She's been going to town halls in Brooklyn, like the community boards, because she's trying to befriend old people because she wants to get a cheap apartment.
It's a great idea.
It's really smart.
a
But
good idea.
she's a big planner. Like she's really organized. So she gone to like 3 meetings and she's already like volunteering for committees and stuff.
That's hilarious. All right, guys, this is our last story of the week. New Jersey man flies to Florida to attack another player over an online gaming dispute.
Which this must have happened multiple times before.
This is in, I guess it's a suburb, and
So-
well, he's from a New Jersey suburb, but
Right, but it's in
it happened
Florida.
in Fernandina
Beach.
Beach. By the way, we're always like a suburb is such a weird, loose definition, but I think all the other ones have been.
This is definitely a suburb.
Yeah, but Edward King is charged with attempted second-degree murder and armed burglary. The Mask.
Wow.
I just wanted to. I love this. Sheriff Bill Leeper goes, I just want to let you know this is a weird one.
The Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper said during a news conference on Monday, some things you just can't make up. What is he trying out for stand-up? What is he doing? He's, only in America, am I right,
He starts
guys?
like looking through the reporter's purse, like Artie Fuqua at the cellar. Hey, this multiplayer game, it was an Arcade, and apparently,
Looking in the comments, like,
what?
Oh, that was one of the ads.
I got the audio.
Oh, we got the audio. We'll do it after.
But
Yeah.
apparently it's like a really
Part of getting
unpopular
involved.
game. Like so it's like these are like the last two guys on it too, which makes it even like sadder.
Wow.
They were about to shut the game down.
So it's
The
Kang.
game's publisher announced in April. Can you just scroll down a little bit, Pat? That it would be shutting down servers in Europe and North America on June 27th.
That makes it so
citing
much
a
sadder.
declining number of active players. So this isn't even like fucking Diablo or World of Warcraft, guys. This is like a real.
Kang flew from Newark to New Jersey.
Jacksonville's such a shithole, but
Hold on. He flew from Newark to Jacksonville last Thursday after telling his mother that he was going to visit a friend that he had met.
he's
while
excited.
playing a
He's
video
finally
game.
making a friend. She's like, "Yay! I'll finally get the house to myself." You know this guy's not leaving. All right.
So basically, that's what you get when you talk shit, guys. Be careful. Also, Jacksonville, Florida. This makes sense. It happened there. You ever go to Jacksonville?
Sucks.
It sucks.
It's the capital of divorce.
Well, I did a show at a bar once, and there was a guy leading around a girl. She was of age, leading around this girl. She was dressed to look like she was like 14, and he had her on a leash, and he was just walking her around this bar, and nobody was paying any mind to it. Nobody was looking at it like, what is going on here? It was so creepy.
Mike Lawrence, hilarious comedian, great writer, one of my best friends. But I guess like his friend like thought he was like a wolf in high school, and like Mike, being a good friend, just walked him around like a wolf.
That's a friend thing.
And I guess people threw garbage. But they, not in your situation.
He grew up to fly somewhere to murder somebody over a video.
Well, Kang, we gotta. Pat, remember let's follow up on this story because I want to see how much time this guy gets for this. All right, yeah. All right, we'll close, guys, by playing you this video. We finally figured it out. If you haven't heard this video, it's so delightful.
It shows up so much on my feed.
This old man in a green shirt and a just a little beanie shows up to this a school board meeting, I believe, and just fucking, if like Geraldo 99 fucking roast these fucking bitches.
I think this is uncensored, so
Yeah.
I'll bleep everything in the post.
Okay, cool.
Good evening, cowards. Nice to see a bunch of fat, ugly women. What?
Excuse you.
No.
In all fairness, it was his time to
Fat,
speak.
ugly women is what they are. Let's talk about it.
We're not having that.
You don't have to. Bye. It's called free speech. Bye.
That's not free speech. That's insulting.
Bye. That's good. Shut up.
Okay, everybody.
And we wonder why children are retarded stupid today. We wonder why. We wonder why when we have these pathetic people here called teachers rape the children's mind.
Oh,
This guy's
you
this
people-
is a pro wrestling promo. This is like a heel promo.
Called control.
The greatest part is he goes, what's up, you fat losers? And he goes, let's talk about it.
Fat,
And he
ugly
goes,
women.
let's talk about it. And then he goes, shut up. Let's talk about it.
No.
Have you ever seen? Oh, Sean, you're gonna love this.
This
I
guy
don't
should
know-
be on the flag of Boston.
Sean, you're gonna love it. Look, this isn't a political show, but I think we can all agree, Republican, Democrat, we hate Matt Gaetz. And
Yes.
did you see the video of him getting cursed out on the RNC
Yes.
floor? Can we play that really quick before we leave? This is the greatest. This guy's like my hero. He just like fucking dresses Matt Gaetz down, just dog walks.
Well, because he's going after Kevin McCarthy, right?
Yeah, he's going after Kevin McCarthy. McCarthy.
Where did you get a cardi from?
Kevin McCarthy.
More united. I mean, think about that. That was all the Democrats and 8 Republicans.
This is Kevin McCarthy
One who's
talking.
not coming back, and then the other part that you have, and the other part you have is one person who raised the issue. He's got.
Well,
an
we
ethics
don't-
complaint
there
about
should be a
paying
video of the guy
sleeping with a
actually
17-year-old.
confronting.
So that's the way that.
This is most podcasts, by the way. It's just like, hey, pull that up.
Yeah.
We should have a podcast called "Pull That Up." Maybe that'll be the new name of it. But yeah, this guy is great. This dude, he just goes like, "Shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
Shut up." But I guess he's. I mean, I don't know whatever happened with that Matt Gaetz.
17-year-old.
17-year-old thing. If he's going.
I don't think they have the angle that you want. This might be it.
This may be.
That's Kevin
yourself
McCarthy.
were the victim kind of the Republican Party, at least on Capitol Hill, being fractured in the House. I mean,
Well, this
what
is
does
funny 'cause
that
Matt
look
Gaetz, like, interrupts.
going into the next
Yeah.
4 months?
Oh, we're much more united. I mean, think about that. That was all the Democrats and 8 Republicans. One who's not coming back, and then the other part that you have, and the other part you have is one person who raised the issue. He's got an ethics complaint about sleeping with a 17-year-old. So that's the way they would go. So that's
This is when
the
the guy-
biggest challenge we have.
Could you imagine being accused of sleeping with a high schooler and then talking shit to anybody?
Yeah.
Like I would shut the fuck up for the rest of my life.
Yes.
But there should be the video of the guy confronting.
I don't know if it pops up. That's not my problem.
That's the only problem.
The guy basically goes.
Matt Gaetz confronted. God, there's a great clip of the guy. The guy says, I don't know why we can't find it, but he says, "Shut up" to Matt Gaetz. It doesn't matter who I fucking am. Shut up, Matt Gaetz, man. He's just one of the most unlikable. He's kind of got that. Like Pelosi's kind of like that too. I guess on the Democrat side, but I think he's worse.
It would make sense if he just turned out to be somebody else. Like because he looks like he's wearing a mask. Like he just looks like
He's Rob Schneider. Yeah.
Well, this has been a fun third episode.
Yeah, really
man.
fun episode, guys. I have a special called Dance Fatty Dance. It's free on YouTube. Please check it out. Sean also has a YouTube channel and different.
I have a
Instagram. What do you
YouTube
want to
channel.
promote?
Yeah, and then I have one on Rizome Comedy called Fun to Watch. It's 30 minutes. It's a quick watch over there, and then at Shawnee Time on Instagram and SeanDonnellyComedy.com. You can check out. And thank you so much to our friend Pat for
Thank you, Pat. And yeah, follow me on
together. Yes,
follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on all the things. Until then. We're always glad you came.
We're trying to work the word "come" into every episode. Thanks, guys. Bye.